This video, we're going to be taking a look at the New York Giants offensive playbook in Madden 25. This playbook allows us to do some kind of unique things in their shotgun offensive formations. If you guys want to check out a full breakdown on this, it's going to be dropping in our school community over the next couple of weeks. We're doing some more stuff out of the Giants book. They have a nice little wing pair here under center formation. They have deuce close with a jet sweep, a stretch, and then they have a nice wing slot. This is one of the only wing slots that out of the playbooks that have stretch and dive. Bunch ace. We've got tight Y off with a jet sweep, and then a decent power alert bubble out of the gun doubles or single back doubles, and then they have a nice little single back trio with that stretch. So you have the stretch with the bubble screen attached to it. You have a dive play. You have verticals, and then you have the smash Texas play, which is super good. Also have some kind of decent little I-form formation, strong close flex. One of the only playbooks in the game that has this formation. This is a great little red zone formation. You have a fullback dive, a stretch, and then you have some kind of unique passing plays in here as well. And then you go into the shotgun formations. Obviously, this is the bread and butter for almost any playbook in the game. And this has some of the newer formations in Madden that are actually really good. I've talked a little bit before about this doubles hip formation. I do think this is one of the most underrated formations in the entire game. It has a lot of different things that you can do from this offense. It has this doubles Z close weak with some cheat motion or some auto motion plays. With this, these auto motion plays in this year's game are super valuable, specifically the motion wheel plays. You want to have those in your playbook. You have a nice little RPO read bubble out of this doubles formation. But the main formation I want to be going over today is the tight Y off weak. Now, this formation has a couple of really powerful plays. It has this PA cheat wheel post. It has this PA cheat outside zone. It has this PA cheat comeback play. It has a couple of other really good plays out of this as well. I really like the different return routes out of like corner strike, and I think there is another one out of wide receiver under. So we're just going to set a couple audibles here, but the main play we're going to be going over is this PA cheat wheel post. So as you can see, it has a unique post route. This post route can be stemmed up or down. Basically a very simple setup that I like to run here is basically this right here. This is like a base setup for me. This is something that I would definitely utilize. And the reason that these cheat motion plays are so valuable is because if your opponent is running man-to-man coverage, this is going to be a really valuable play for you to have in your arsenal. It basically makes it very difficult for somebody to run man coverage. You're going to see right here, if I call this cheat motion, if they're trying to press and shade underneath and all that stuff out of like a cover two man, this is going to consistently just torch and shred this defense for easy yardage over the top. So you're going to be able to beat cover two man with this. And then let's say they go into more of a basic man-to-man coverage where they might not be pressing. This still does have some potential to be able to attack it, but then you're also going to be able to do things like maybe hit this streak over the top on the left side if it's a press man situation. Another thing that you can do, again, this is just basic man coverage 101, but you can hit this tight end. I'll show you that real quick. So you'll see this post and this tight end are both really good man-beating routes, especially in this year's game. And you're going to see here you've got that drag underneath for just an easy yardage. And then you'll also have your post route over the top for a pretty nice play against man coverage as well. So you have a lot of ways in which these routes are on the field are going to do a really good job against most of the way that people want to play man coverage in this game, as Champ Bailey just went crazy. But we'll see if we can get this actually open for you. Was open. I don't know why Champ was able to just outrun him or what, but we'll show it to you one more time. You can also go double drags. No reason why you couldn't go double drags as well. So if we want to do it like a mesh post setup, we have a clear out on this left side, right? And then we got a lot of room for this post to be able to work. As you can see, it's a super nice route and can normally beat man coverage for you pretty easily. Now, the next coverage that we're going to go over just within this base setup is once you're able to beat somebody in man, they're almost always going to ultimately just go to like a zone coverage. This play does a really good job against cover two, specifically on the right. And then on the left side, really it's this post route. This post route is the money route. It's the route that they're going to have to respect, and it's ultimately the route that they're going to have to switch stick. Now, if your opponent runs any kind of cover two, you're going to be able to throw this cheat wheel. It just kind of sneaks behind the defense And you're going to see here, once it kind of clears that cloud flat, it's going to be a one-play score every single time that they try to run cover two. So it's a great way to be able to manipulate cover two. And then if they're starting to switch stick or play a little bit more disciplined against the post route, then what I want you to try to do is hit your check down read, which is really this drag coming across the middle. Super nice little quick throw and just a simple horizontal route. Couple other things that we have in this playbook. One of them is, again, I love this setup specifically, and then we can kind of basically work off of this. So one of my favorite ways to work off of this is to use a stemmed corner. I like to stem that corner basically all the way down. And then with the running back, you can really do whatever you want with him. I just go ahead and block him. But basically what you're going to see here is this stemmed corner is going to do a really good job of just kind of high-lowing that sideline. If they're not playing hard flats, you're going to be able to throw your drag route all game long, which is going to then start to force them to play some hard flats over there. And then once they have to play hard flats, the beauty is that then this stemmed corner is going to be something that you have to be able to hit here. So you see stemmed corner, really nice read against that play. And then another defense that we haven't quite touched on yet, and this is why I really want to use this corner route, is for defenses like cover three. So if we stem this post up one tick and make it run a little bit deeper, you're going to see that this corner on the left side is going to do a really good job of pulling the outside third. And then this, see how fast that post cuts across the defense, and it's just going to be able to do a really good job of manipulating cover three over the top for a one-play touchdown. Now, you also have other plays off of this as well. So this PA cheat comeback, one of the cool things about this cheat motion is that you can stem this a lot of times. And then you can also here, you see how we have this nice little streak route to this outside player. What I would probably do is just put a streak on this backside. You can put the running back and run just a little mesh concept underneath. But basically the idea with this is it's the same motion, but now you're just kind of attacking different areas of the field, and you have a seam streak behind it, which we know seam streaks in this game are super good. So logistically, like a real play that you might want to run with this PA cheat comeback route would be like a drag to the tight end, and then you can put that corner route on the left side if you want to. Not really that big of a deal if you don't have that, but if you watch this streak on the right side, you'll see here you can kind of just cut this off against a lot of different zone coverages in this game. Another combo that I really like to run, this one's a little bit more specific to zone, but just using two streaks. So I have the cheat wheel, I have the streak. I'm going to post the tight end, and I'm going to drag my running back or drag my solo. So you'll see here, see how this is basically turning this into almost like a U-trips formation. And now you're able to kind of run, stuff like this. It's really, really, really good this year to be able to attack different types of defenses. Another thing you could do out of this cheat motion is you could post this left side like this, and then you could run maybe something like this kind of combination like so. The reason you might want to do something like this is it just has the post come in from the other way, which is, now you're having to respect kind of the seam on the right side. You got that drag on the back side, and then some really nice ways to clear out zone over the middle of the field within that post route. So you have that going for you as well. And then after that, we kind of get into some of our quick snap series, or just other than our outside zone. This outside zone run is pretty good. You get an auto motion blocker, and it runs like a stretch, so you can get outside with it. And then you can also, with this run, if the hole is up the middle, then you can just cut the ball right up field as well, just kind of like a stretch. So you'll see here I'm going to glide to the right, and then I see, oh, there's the hole. All right, we're going to put our foot in the ground, and we're going to cut up field for a couple of yards. So you have the cheat motion in here as well. And then you have things like wide receiver under. And what makes wide receiver under so good is this return route to the tight end that we have on this play. So what I like to do whenever I'm setting this play up is we're going to utilize, again, another motion here. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to have this guy on the right-hand side. We're just going to have him running a corner route, stem that corner all the way down, and then we have a backside post. So you see, this is just kind of what it looks like. If you want to put the running back on a table route, you certainly can. But this is just a way that we can, again, kind of just continue to manipulate zone and be able to work the middle of the field as well. Another play that we have in our arsenal is corner strike, which has the return route on the left side. The reason these return routes are so good, real quick, is they do a really good job of beating man. So you see when they cut inside, they almost always cook man, and they get underneath almost every single zone in the game. So they're just really good routes to have no matter what play, no matter what offense you're running. So if I'm running something like this, what I like to do with this combination here is you could do things like motion your running back outside, put him on an out route, and you could do a combination like this. This is perfectly, this is a pretty good little play here. And you'll see how this just kind of spaces out, and oftentimes that drag and return route combo is going to be something that's really effective for you. Another thing you can do with this play is you can put the running back on a table route. You can put this slot receiver on a drag route, and then you can actually streak your tight end and kind of run the play like this. The C route's kind of a unique route that just kind of gets into a really nice spot on the field late, and it's kind of one of those routes that's harder to switch stick against. And then if you want to, another thing you can do with corner strike here is you can just corner route him. You don't have to have the C route. You could run the play like this. I like to put the tight end on a post, but stem it up twice. And what this can do is it's going to be a viable seam streak throw, but then when he cuts across the face of that third, it's now going to turn this into a cover 3 beater. So again, just provided that you have enough time to be able to go through the progression here, you're going to see that if I put this tight end on this post route and I stem him up twice, then you're going to be able to have this corner route on the back end side. And then what you're going to see here is that this tight end post, once he cuts across the face of the third, it's just going to cook cover 3 over the top for a big play. So this is the tight Y off formation in the Giants playbook. Obviously, the majority of the offense really centers around this cheat motion. Another really underrated way to use the cheat motion would be to use something like this and be able to have this tight end corner route. You're going to see how well this clears out for it. And then you can just throw this over here on the right sideline. And then if they're constantly switch sticking you, you can still throw the streak upfield. Another thing with this cheat motion that you can do that we didn't talk about yet is you can stem this cheat motion upfield. But again, I really like just a simple mesh post style drags. This is, to me, is one of the best plays in the game, just a simple mesh post. The double drags this year is really good. It's really good because the middle of the field is one of the best ways to attack defenses in this year's game. Let's go ahead and look back at the formation, see if there's anything else we want to go over in this playbook. And what you're going to see here is we have things like shallow cross. We also have this spot middle play. And I was trying to see if they had any zig routes, any other zig routes in this. They do have a post on the left side slot. And those are just some of those things that you can do. Let's just take a look at the spot middle play. I haven't talked about this yet. This is a really good play, especially against man coverage, right? You can always, guys, if you want to do this in this formation, you can always get into something like this, right? This is a really good combo. You could always just kind of go back to old school tight slots type stuff. This is really, really effective. The thing I want to show you is this kind of tight end route. Again, if you're getting a lot of man coverage, this might be something that you want to utilize. You'll see that when he cuts sharp over the middle, and you can just pass lead that to the inside, and you're able to put the defense in a little bit of a challenging position within that as well. On that route. So you have that nice route to the tight end if you wanted to utilize that. A couple other things here within this formation. Going back to that wide receiver underplay, you can always just stem this corner down and run the combo like this as well. I wanted to just touch on kind of old school tight. You do have some stuff in old school tight that you're able to do with these whip routes. These return routes are really good, and you do want to have those in your playbook. Another thing that you could do is a simple combination like this. This is still a really good combination in this year's game, and that tight end apprentice corner is really good against man. You also have kind of that backside drag route that you could use. So all in all, the Giants playbook, there's just a lot of good stuff, especially in this tight Y off. And then when you start to mix in things like an audible over to something like this, now we're going to go into a motion wheel play off of this. Something that you can really do to kind of just put the defense in a little bit of a challenging position. So you have a lot within this Giants playbook. I want to thank you guys for taking a look at the video today. And if you want to check out the rest of the Giants stuff, make sure that you get in the school community. I'll be having some stuff coming out in that shortly. Thanks for watching the video. To sign up for school, the link is in the description below.